I'm trying to find this right here. Good morning, buenos dias, everybody. Happy Friday, happy December, and wow, Eclipse Day. Whoa, you guys, this is why we're going live. See my eyes, I honestly haven't slept. And even not just today, but like 2 nights ago. There's so much information coming through, and this is really amazing. And this is what the topic of today's live video is, because there's so many light codes coming in, and it could feel like a little like overwhelming, you know. And so again, I'm not even sure why this technology is doing this, but I cannot see the comments on Instagram. Sorry. Hello, good morning. So let's just honor this space right now, because there is so much coming through, you guys. There is so much coming through. I've honestly, the past 2 nights, I've just been receiving so much information with my third eye so open and just wide awake while sleeping but not sleeping at the same time, and it's just been phenomenal. You know, those moments when you don't really sleep but then you just have so much energy. It's like, that's what it has been for me. And so right now there's just like so much information coming through for us, and it's really, again, our choice of how we decide to root these light codes into ourselves, right? And of course, as something is coming in, the same thing, something is exiting out, and there's a lot. And you know, being in Scorpio, I love Scorpio season. It's so good. It's like the alchemist, you know. So it's like we're alchemizing so much energy. We're letting go of fears. We're letting go of conditions or stories in the head, or stories that we saw growing up. You know, good morning, sister. Then, like, there's the opening that gets created even more to receive all this information, right? So depending where you're in your journey. So let's just like back up a little bit. So awakening comes in waves. Okay, so awakening comes in waves. And for some people, this part right now of life might feel really intense. Like there's a lot of anger showing up, or a lot of anxiety. For other people that have been in the journey like more in a way along, right? There's more excitement, there's balance. So it just really depends, you know, it really depends. But also what depends is like how you take in this information. So how you take the information that are coming through with all these light codes is very important, right? And so again, if you've been clearing, and there's an opening, and then you receive, and it roots into your system, that it might be like, ooh, a sense of balance, a sense of excitement. But in the other hand, if something is just coming to you because it's just meant to be in you and root itself into your system at this moment in time, and then at the same time it creates the opening, which then let's all these emotions rise up to the surface, you know. And there might be anger coming up, or anxiety coming up, you know. There might be like a little tension in the way of like, what is this? And like, if we are not aware that all these things happen for a purpose, all these things happen for a greater good, then there might be a little tension happening as these light codes come in, and something wants to exit, but then we grab onto it, and then we still keep it in. So here comes the tension, you know, the tension of like this light codes really coming in. It's like, yo, like it really needs, like, this is your opportunity to grow, right? And there's the other part that holds onto like some kind of emotion so tightly because it believes, for example, it might be that like somebody believes, or you believe, that you're not worthy of letting go of this emotion, which it happens so often, you know. Like that's that part of us that like sabotage the self because it doesn't believe that it's worthy of receiving more love, or receiving more prosperity, or feeling abundant, or just feeling love in general. And this comes really deep in the subconscious mind. Honestly, the subconscious mind, as one of my teachers calls it, is like the garbage can. This is where all like the little garbage goes in. And this is why also then pranayama, meditation, kundalini yoga is a great tool and a great technology to cleanse that, okay, to cleanse that. So here are the two things, and it could be also in the middle, right? So this is what I was talking about. It could be somebody that is actually like just started a journey, if we want to call it that anyway, because I really believe that we all have been in the journey since we came into this existence and prior to that. And there's the other parts of like the ones that are like super open, and like when all this lights come in, it's just like this blissful energy, and it's like woo, you know. And then there's the ones in the middle that it could go either way, you know. It can just go receive and feel excitement, and at the same time just have all these emotions that pop up and they don't even know what to do with it, okay. So here's when like we have the choice of how we react to these emotions, how we react to all these things that are coming through. And being Scorpio season, you know, like there's this tendency to see Scorpio as something so bad. And it's like, honestly, to me, it's one of the greatest signs, because it's just, again, like the alchemist, you know, it shows you so much. If you treat it like a ceremony, right? If you have ever sat in a plant medicine ceremony, you know, like, it's not like you're going to tell ayahuasca, like, don't show me this, show me that. You know, I don't want to see that. You do that and it actually, like, hits you stronger, you know, because then she will continue to show it to you. So, but then like when you surrender and you say, thank you, mother, thank you for showing me all these things, and it's like, it's a little bit easier, you know, to grab into it, because then we're seeing it as medicine. We're seeing it as medicine, we're seeing this as a ceremony stance, we're seeing this as an opportunity to grow and release and to shed layers, right? So here it is, like literally the one thing that it can help to see everything as a medicine, even when somebody's triggering you. Not the person that is the medicine, but the energy in between you and the person is the medicine. And when you look at it that way, then it's easier to accept it. You know, it's really easier to accept it. And then you can take a step back in honoring what is happening, see it as it is, and then be like, okay, this is coming up to serve me, rather than just like blah, you know. Like it could happen, you know, it happens to all of us, right, to just be very reactive, but then we continue to be in the loop, the karmatic loop. So then if we use, or I'm going to say when we use our discipline in this kind of moments in life, then we're breaking the cycle, the karmatic cycle, and then we're standing more in our power, because then we're not being victimized. We're not the victim of whatever this person said or the person itself. Then we're standing strong in our stance and just using that discipline and being like, oh, okay, thank you for this medicine. It's very important as women to really know our systems, you know, and I've been posting about this, the moon centers. As women, and this is part of Kundalini Yoga, we have 11 moon centers. There are physical centers. Whenever we are in each of them, it's like a different emotion that pops up, you know? So when we are in the cheek, we can be very emotional and very irrational. This is why, like, at times, you know, if you have actually, like, felt that you are good one day, and the next day, like, you know, somebody tells you something, and then you just react, and then you don't even know how to stop your words and things like this, you become very emotional. It could be one of the signs that you're in it. And so, like, when you map your moon centers and you know when the next cheek center will pop up, then you can actually use more your discipline and everything that you use to control that urge, you know? And this is what I have been in the past days. And it's very interesting when we really honor the space that we're in, because there's really that urge, you know. So like using the discipline and not really seeing it again as like being victimized by somebody else, but like seeing that as an opportunity to grow and seeing that as a ceremony, as a medicine. When we look at that as a medicine, there's this part of us that goes like, oh, okay, thank you, because this person is not harming me, but this person is serving me. And again, it's not about the person itself or what the person said, but the energy that's moving from the person to you, that communication that is not in speech, that is like the important thing that is coming to you and is doing the same thing like the light codes are doing, you know? It's guiding you to create space. to create space within yourself, to see it as an opportunity, really as a breakthrough, to move through that, to pass through that. So then something comes up to be alchemized, and then here comes the light codes and merge with that part, and then come back into you as a really stronger being, because then it's just like ploop, you level up. So this is the importance of seeing things as a medicine rather than seeing it as somebody's trying to harm you, somebody's trying to victimize you. Because again, that opening that gets created when the energy begins to alchemize and it meets with these light codes, then it creates like a bigger doorway, and that is where your being goes like ploop, you enter into that, and then you level up. You know, this is a constant thing that happens, you guys. And of course, you know, with this eclipse and the new moon and all these things, like, yes, there's a lot of light codes coming through, and there's a lot of us that like haven't been sleeping very well because of listening to all these messages or working out there in the ethers. But this is something that constantly comes through. And of course, today is a really perfect opportunity to really like sit with these things, for sure. But every day is a perfect opportunity to do the same thing, not to wait for when some like solar eclipse or lunar eclipse is happening, or the equinox or whatever it is, you know, the solstice. It's because like, why are you waiting for those moments to come up when you can do that every single day of your life? And when you do it in every single day of your life, it just becomes a second nature, it just becomes so much part of you. Then like, you don't even have to think about when the next like solar eclipse or lunar eclipse or whatever it is, because you're living in that moment every single day. See, every single day. And you're accepting all these light codes that come through. And maybe it's not even an eclipse, and then because you are in that space, you're receiving these light codes that perhaps not many people are receiving, because you're creating that opening within yourself. You're merging, you're alchemizing that energy and opening up a portal, a doorway through which you step in through, and then you continue to grow, and you continue to accept yourself in the way that you love yourself, you know, and then you continue to show up as you. You continue to really expand your knowledge of your own being, not the knowledge that we read in books or whatever, you know. I mean, that's amazing information, but it's not really just about grabbing, but feeling and allowing the being to tell you and to guide you. It's all here. Like, we're tapping into that. This is what the power, again, of the mirror of somebody can help you, of a teacher, of a guide. It just really comes in, because again, most of the time, it's not about the information that comes through in the way of speech. Most of the time, it's the information that is coming through that some people cannot even see on the form of energy that goes from one person to another person, because that person is helping you to create the opening that you have been desiring, the remembrance. This is what it is, the remembrance. And so then once you accept it and you feel it within your being, the remembrance part just helps you to tune in more deeper into your system. So then you can have a deeper expression of yourself, a deeper way of expressing your life. Not so much like, oh, I don't know, I want to do this, but like I feel scared or whatever, or this person is going to like judge me. That doesn't even matter, because you know who you are. And then you know how to walk through your life in the only way that you can walk through your life. Nobody else can walk it for you, right? Nobody else can tell you how to live your life. People, again, can guide you, and that's really important for sure. Like I've said many times, I have like so many teachers for every single thing that I do and I practice. And even like in Kundalini Yoga, I have 3 teachers, you guys. 3 teachers, you know, because I resonate different with different people. And this is like what we all do. This is like where the community comes in. You know, in community, we're not pointing fingers. In community, we're actually like helping each other to realize many things, as like the power of the mirror. The power of the mirror. And this is something that I talked about in the weekly wisdom on my podcast that came out this Wednesday. Check it out if you feel aligned to. You know, it's just in my in my links in my website, the Rise of the Feminine podcast, talking about the importance of community and how that really helps us to tune in deeper into ourselves rather than going into the fighting mode. So here is, again, like it's the last month of this year. Who would have thought, honestly? I mean, I just feel that we just started this. I feel that I just came back from Colombia, and next thing I know is like we're almost in 2022. What? But this is your chance, this is your opportunity to really like going back into what were your intentions for this year, and did you even have intentions for the year? Like the power of intention is so spectacular and magical. But like here you have this like rest of the month to really just be like, okay, like how do I commit to myself? How do I let go more of these things, and like, am I worthy of creating these openings within myself? Which is, the answer is yes, of course you're worthy, but you must believe that within yourself. You must believe that you have the ability and the capability to actually create the opening for you, to look at something that is coming through and exiting, something that is exiting, like something like very hard moments of your life, very hard moments of your life. They're just exiting out of your system because that does no longer serve you. And by you holding on to that, it's just creating more suffering and more tightness in the energetic body. So the energy is not flowing. And so like, do you feel that you deserve that still, knowing that you're not the same person that you were a couple months ago or even yesterday, knowing that with all these lycos coming through right now, like a bigger opening has been created, whether you are aware of that or not. So can you just let go? It's like as easy as just like, I'm done, like stop fighting with yourself, within yourself. Why is it, that tension that is happening? Is it the fear of like seeing you as you are? Is it the fear of loving yourself as you are and accepting yourself, This is the biggest fear that humanity actually has, the love for itself. And that's why we're so good at holding on to those memories that have harmed us for so long and keep it there for years. But like, that doesn't serve us very well. That doesn't serve you to continue to keep holding on to that. You don't need to hold on to that anymore. And this is that opportunity, Every single day is that opportunity to let that go. And really, like, if you need guidance with that, to tune in into what your system is telling you, send me a message. We can have a chat, or like send a message to somebody if you're not aware of how to move through that. Because this is a very important key of the piece, of the puzzle. How do you tune in into your system to know what is actually happening? To know what, like, if you're actually fighting against yourself, which honestly a lot of us actually do, or if there is something that is just popping up and saying like, hey, we're done with this. Can we just let it go? And when you choose yourself, you let it go, really. You really go. And so here again, in this last month of the year, there's such a big opportunity for growth. And a growth in the way of just letting go and trusting. And like, there's so many people that says like, trusting is not easy. Well, trusting is not easy because you have that in your head that is not easy. Trusting is like a state of being that we have within ourselves. And again, going back into you coming into this reality, when you were inside of your mother's womb, it's not like you were not trusting, you were just being. This thing of trust, like it wasn't even in your, we want to call the vocabulary of your energetic field, much even better, it wasn't even there because it was your state, and that's our state. That's one of our states, our state of being. And so here, like there is so much happening. There is so much happening in the planet. And at the same time, there's a lot of chaos in the planet, but there's so much guidance coming from the higher realms every single moment in time, sending all these lycos, sending all these opportunities for you, for me, for all of us to just let go of fear because fear is blocking. If you want to come to this side, right, and you're here, and fear is in between, and you allow fear to win, it will continue to place this ginormous wall in between your destination or this journey that you want to embark on, and then where you are. And so it just stays there, and then there's no way that you can go through it. Perhaps there's moments where you can see it, but this is where just like surrendering, just being like, let go of the fight. Let go of the fight that is not serving you and is not serving us. And it really helps you somehow, you know, knowing that if it's not serving you and you continue to place that wall, it's not serving your lineage, it's not serving your community, it's not serving the whole world as it is. And that's like, you know, when I go back to all of this, it's like, who am I to place that blockage and continue to nurture that blockage to our entire species? This is what gets to me, you know? No, I don't have that in my heart to place that blockage and feed it and make it stronger, because the ability that I have to love like grows every single day. And I honor you, and I honor everybody else, and I honor myself, and there's no way that I will feed something that is not serving your highest good or my highest good. So if something like that helps you, keep that in your like little sticky note. So then you remember, you know? Then you remember, and then you can tune in into the power again of community. That is not just the power of community, like the physical community that you're part of, but it's like community as a whole that is throughout the entire world, that has ever existed and will exist in this planet, because it is a portal. And there is this cloud in the collective that is there for us to really tune into, for us to bring like more guidance from. Or whenever you have those moments of like surrender and like confusion and you don't even know, you tune in to that field, and the field helps you. Or again, you can tune in into the field of fear that is so strong and continue to feed that wall that is not serving you at all, you know? And so again, this is your choice. Of course, like my choice is to just see that wall of division, love it, accept it, transmute the energy, alchemize it, and feed more the other cloud, because that serves us well. The other one has been here for so long, and there's so many people that feed into that. So many people. There's so many people that watch the news. There's so many people that like all these things that like, I don't know, that just watch all these things that honestly my heart can't even take it, even if it's like a joke. And like there's so many in the planet doing that because they're not aware, and that's okay. But this is where we come into, this is where you come into, because the power of your love, the power of your heart can help those that are not even aware of what the fuck is going on, you know? And you have the power. We have the power. This is where we come together. This is where we come together. And again, the power of community, you know? And if you have something in you that is being triggered by that, oh my goodness, that's amazing. And I celebrate you, because that means that it's coming up to the surface to be released. That wall and that tension is coming up for you to see it. For you to see it, for you to alchemize it, for you to let it go, so you're no longer feeding that wall of separation, but you're feeding the cloud, a collective of love and community. And from that, goodness, so many doors open up for you. So many doors open up for you. So this is again the moment to really just come into yourself and be like, where do I need guidance to? And honor that, you know? There's so many of us that really believe that we can do it all alone. And trust me, I've been there multiple times. Especially with the abilities that I have, you know. But again, that is the ego. That was my ego saying like, you have it all. You don't need somebody else. And that was not true. And this is again the reason why I have so many teachers and mentors and coaches, because it's just like, you have figured something out that I don't want to waste my time to like go into that if I can have your guidance. Again, the power of community. So honor yourself where you are and be like, where do I need my guidance? Who can guide me into this? And trust, because your intuition will guide you. When the student is ready, the teacher shows up, and then you will know. You will know. There's somebody that you will really be like, yeah, that person. You know, it's happened to me many times. It's happened to me many times. That is when you surrender even more and the space of the heart opens up, because then you know that you're not being run by the ego. You're being run by the heart. The heart is leading you to somebody to guide you. And then the ego just kind of like goes behind the scenes and be like, oh, dang, you know, I can no longer use this person as a puppet. How amazing is that? That your ego doesn't use you as a puppet anymore. But then you work in unison, because the ego will really let you know when you're in danger. And that's a very spectacular part of the ego. You know, it's not something that we're just like, you know, but you work in unison. You work in unison, no longer as a puppet, but then you own it, and you're not being run by it. You're working with it, and you're allowing your heart to see, to show you. That is when a massive transformation comes through. When you follow the guidance of the intuition, the guidance of your heart, rather than saying, oh no, you know, even in the moments when you cannot trust, even in the moments when you feel you cannot trust, those are the perfect moments to surrender. Again, something is coming through. So really use that knowledge, use the knowledge of your entire being, you know, to say yes, yes to yourself. Every single time that you listen to somebody, every single time that you work with somebody, it's really you saying yes to yourself. Not yes to like somebody's work. You're saying yes to yourself because you recognize that somebody can take you somewhere that you haven't been before. Taking the shortcut in a way because they figure it out, you know? And again, I go back into this is why I have so many teachers. Because I know that. And this is why I teach others, especially about the energetics. Because I know the little shortcuts. Do you see and you understand? So it's a powerful time right now to honor where you are. And when I say honor, I really mean honor, and I mean celebrate you. Celebrate you, especially in this moment in time, in our planet, in our species. Goodness, the fact that you're here and you're still doing the work against everything that is happening in the planet, that really shows how strong you are. So celebrate that first and foremost. Celebrate that strength in you. Celebrate that you have the strength that took you from all these traumas. If you had traumas, you know, whether it was something so tiny or something big, and then you're still here breathing, and you're still here doing the work, and you're still here, whatever it is that you do. If you meditate, if you dance, if you paint, whatever it is, you're still here, and that is a celebration in itself. And then really tell yourself, honor yourself where you are and where you want to be and where you need the guidance and what you can do to achieve that. Power of intention, which I'll be talking about next week on the weekly wisdom that comes out on Wednesday. The power of intention is so important. Use these light codes that are coming in right now to set up the power of intention. And rather than shying away from Scorpio, use that as the alchemist. That energy is already inside of you too. The energies of the planets, the energies of every single zodiac sign is already inside of us. And we can use that as a powerful mirror to awaken that part of ourselves. Okay? The alchemist is already in you. It's already in you. You are already the alchemist. Whether you have been aware of that, or whether you're recently tuning into that, or whether this is the very first time that you have ever heard it, it's already inside of you, and you are already it. You are just remembering that, reawakening that part of yourself so it comes through. And then you can just live an even more magical life. Imagine if your life is already magical. And then somebody says, like, dude, like, it will be even more magical. You can't even fathom that. Can you just imagine that? The mind cannot fathom that because it's something from the heart. It's something from your spirit that just comes through. Wow. You know, wow. I'm amazed by my life every single time. Every single time. Because there's many things that come through in whichever form it is, you know, that I never expected. And then it's like, wow, holy smokes. This is pretty dope. This existence is very magical. But it's when we surrender and we let go of feeding the wall of fear and trusting, using fear again as a powerful teacher, seeing it as a medicine, like in a ceremony stance, like a medicine. So then it shows you more you, because it's just, that's what it is. Well, that's what's doing, you know? There's a part of the subconscious that is just saying, like, if you feed it, you know, you continue to feed it and you don't see yourself. When you really look at it straight into the eye, without fear, but just in the warrior-like stance, in the goddess-like stance, you look straight into the fear, then you will see yourself. And then it goes away. It goes away. Because then you find, refine, and welcome back a part of you into that. So, goodness, how powerful that is. Like, I felt that in the heart. It's like, dude, wow. So this is what's happening, you guys. This is what's happening. So having that courage, you know, this like work is like, it's not as easy as we can imagine. It could be very gentle if we allow it to be. But there's different times in the journey that it's just like, can I do it? Yes, you can do it. Yes, you can do it with the power of intention. Of course you can do it, you know? But it's gonna take that strength that you already have to look straight into the eyes of the fear and say, you know, in the 40-day program that I'm doing, which is, today is the last day. Wow, it's the last day of this program. Part of the meditation, Baron Baptiste, which is the teacher, the yoga teacher that like founded this program, you know, he says in the meditation, you might have fear, but fear doesn't have you. Wow, can you let this land for you? You might have fear, but fear doesn't have you. So don't allow the fear to have control over you, because you have the control to literally look straight into the eyes of that fear and say, you don't have me. You don't have me. I might be feeling you, but you don't have me. And that is when it collapses. That is when you see your truth even more. Because it was a way that was put in your system, whether it was by yourself or by your lineage, in the subconscious mind, to run the show. And then when you have that power, which you already have the power, to look straight into the eyes of the fear and be like, no, you don't have me. I can see you and I can feel, but you don't have me. It just goes like, whew. And then you're just like, wow, I did it. I did it. And if you can do it once, you can do it like a billion times, over and over and over again. So remember that thing, you know? Remember, you might have fear and you might feel it really deeply, but it doesn't have you. You're not its puppet. You have the power, again, the power that runs through life, the power that runs through the universe. The unconditional love of life is inside of you, and is the one that guides you to look at it straight into the eyes and be like, not more, not more. This is when empowerment comes in, the standing in your stance, the just being very strong in your 2 feet, in your entire system, in your entire being. Because nothing can take you away from that. And you can realize and you can honor that this is part of the journey, this is part of life. And many fears will pop up depending on what you sign up to do in your lineage and in the whole, in the collective, you know, what you sign up to do. But you didn't sign up to look at fear and be like, okay, you have me. No, you sign up here to be that warrior, like, to be that goddess, and to look at it and be like, I see you, I see your joke, I'm done. And then you move through it, you know? See that warrior energy that is inside of you, you know? Which is also the goddess energy, is really the union, the divine union of the masculine and the feminine energies that is there, you know? It's powerful, And it's not in the way of like of the ego, like it's in the way of like really being there, knowing who you are regardless of what happens in life. You know who you are, and you have that confidence that nobody can shake it. People can tell you so many things and you're like whatever, you know, because I know who I am. And then you're there, and like all these fears or whatever it is can come up, and you say like, you don't have me, I have myself. Do you feel the difference? You don't have me, I have myself. There's such a big difference right there. And there's so much power when you say, I have myself. You have yourself. Nobody else does. Nobody else does. Not even your teachers. Do you understand that? Not even your teacher. They're just your guides. They're just the powerful mirror for you to realize that what you see in them is already in you. And that's where the remembrance comes from. That is the alchemy, the passage through your teacher to you. And then you do so with somebody else too, if you choose to do it, if you decide to do it. But again, use this time, the perfect opportunity to truly just be you, you know, to be you, whatever that means or feels like to you or looks like to you, because nobody else can live your life. Nobody else can live your life. You can allow others to really have a say in them. You can allow others to just like, you know, for you to be their puppet, but it's enough for being puppets. You don't need to be somebody else's puppet, especially if you have been for so long. It's the time for you. It's the last days of this month, you guys, of this year. It's time for you to own who you are. It's time for you to own who you are. It's time for us to own who we are, to own our powers, to own our strength, to own our love. Enough of whatever is going on in the planet that is just like telling us to stay away from each other and to whatever, you know? Yes, like there is so much going on, but the power of love is stronger. The power of love is stronger. So when you're looking at those fears that don't longer have a hold on you, because you have a hold on love, which is you, and then you can let go of all of that and just be who you came here to be, you know, like that energy that is passing through in you that really is guiding you into something. It's guiding you for a reason, because a part of you already exists and is trying to be manifested here. It's really channeling through you and saying like, dude, you are so ready. You are so ready to be seen. You're so ready to be so in tune with your energies, with your own power, with your gifts. You are so ready to be the warrior like goddess that you are, or the warrior that you are. You're so ready, and we are so ready for that. This is what the energies that are coming through are saying, especially for those of you brothers and sisters that like haven't been sleeping and just receiving so much energy. You know, we are that revolution of consciousness. That's what we are, and this is what is happening. So if you allow that to guide you, nothing else will throw you away, you know. And I'm not even saying like about these silly things, you know, like of course like things can happen in your life, you know, anything can happen, but when you are in your core and when you are in your strength, whatever happens in your life is divine and it's beautiful. And then you know it happened for a reason and it was a blessing. You're no longer a victim. You have never been a victim. You have never been a victim. Our vision was just clouded, very freaking clouded. And now we have the power and we have the opportunity to see each other, to see yourself. You have the opportunity to see yourself and own who you are. Because you are so freaking powerful. We are so freaking powerful. When we tune into that, nothing can shake us. We are the mountain. We are that mountain. And again, when we come together, holy smokes, the portal of transformation that gets created, not just for the people that are there, but for the rest of the planet, for the rest of the world. This is your time to shine. What else are you waiting for? This is our time to shine. We don't need to wait for anything else. What we do is just be like, this is me. This is me. And who knows, you know? People might look at you as a crazy person because you channel light language, or you talk to spirits, or you see spirits. And that is their idea of life. That's okay. But your idea of life is way more magical, and you came here to do something even more powerful that you can fathom. So when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is who I am, and I do this and I do that and whatever, and you own it, many things within you awaken. They have been knocking on your door to say, you are so ready. You are so ready. Because you are so ready, and you have been ready. It's just all these stories and all this fear coming up to the surface. This is why we sign up to come here at this moment in time, because we knew of our strength. We knew of our strength, and we knew we have it. We have what it takes to help others transition to this fear-like phase. Because we know, nobody can control us. We have the power already inside, and we can do this. And we have been doing this, and we've done this for so long. This is not the first time, you guys. This is not the first time that I've done something like this, that you've done something like this. We've done this many times. And so this is why we're doing it, because we know what it takes to do it, and we can do it. We can do it. You can do it. Take that opportunity. Jump. Take the leap of faith in you, because you're so worth it. You're so worth it. And once you get it, I'm not talking about a full-on destination, because we have so many destinations. Once you take that jump, it's like, this is it. This is it. Whichever jump it is, in whichever form it comes, you know. And then nothing can stop you at all, not even yourself, because then you feel it in yourself, within yourself, like, oh, this is another jump. I know how that feels like. I know the fear has nothing in me. And one more time, you look at the fear and you say, you don't have me. And you walk through it. You walk straight to it, and you alchemize the energy, and you go back into your power. And you do that over and over and over again, until when a fear comes up, you're like, hey, dude, what's up? There's no that once was there, because you've grown and you're not the same person. Again, just like the person of you of last year or like last week, it's not even there anymore, because you're way stronger, especially in this journey. You're not the person that you were yesterday. You're way stronger, and you have that in you to commit to yourself. This is why you're here. This is why you're listening to this, whether it's live or on repeat. You knew that you had what it takes to do this work, and this is why you're here. And so I invite you, all of us, the entire world invites you, the energy invites you to own who you are. Because this is how you create the change in the world that you've been wanting to create with you. To accept yourself, to love yourself, to accept the weird, quirky parts of yourself, which are your gifts, to accept those. And then the rest is history. The rest is history. And then you will know, Nothing stops you. Nothing can stop us. Nothing can stop you. Only you can do so. And you've been doing that for so long. Enough of that. This is a time when you really just I invite you to go to the mirror after this and just look at you. Look at you. And if anything arises, honestly, it's awesome. But just see the beauty and the power that runs through you. Like, the things that you don't like about yourself are the most precious things of your being. The things you don't like about yourself are the most precious things of your being. When you accept that, another portal of transformation opens up. More of your gifts rise up to the surface, and you become more in tune in that, because that's your story. That is part of you that nobody else in the world has it. And that is your medicine, the divine medicine. That so many people are waiting for you to tune into that, so that they could be in the collective and hold the space for everybody else to do the same thing. We are magic. We are magic. You are magic. And this is your moment. This is your moment to shine. Not tomorrow, not 2 days from now, or not like in, what is it, like the new year, like the new year, whatever happens, right now. This is your moment to shine right now. And again, if you need guidance, send me a message. This is what I do best because I've been in those spaces, just like you have been, And I dedicated those spaces because I knew this is not about me. This is about us, because we're not separate. This is about community. And we have bitten up to goodness the point of just crying and screaming and bleeding. And now we rise stronger. Out of all of that, out of our ashes, we come out really strong like the phoenix. This is what we do. This is what we do together. Every single one of us has been bitten in so many lifetimes. And through that, we have grown. Through that, we put ourselves back together. Through that, we rose so strong. And then we're here. This is where we're here to guide every single one of the rest of the planet. They have no idea of what's going on, whether they're aware of that or not. To create the change in this planet. This is why this planet called upon us to do this work. And this is what we do best. Together. Not separate. Together. You do that with you, first and foremost, with you. Accepting yourself, loving yourself, and again, especially the parts of you that you have hated for so long. I hated my nose for so long. I hated my ears for so long. I hated my entire body for so long. The moment I honor all of that is the moment that all my gifts came through. And I'm not even joking. They came through like all of them at once. And it's totally written in my birth chart. The moment you love your physical body is the moment that everything will turn magical. And it did. There's no one part of my body that I don't love and I honor. I love it all. That doesn't mean that at times it's not easy. I'm still human, but you can do it. And again, you have done this already. This is where we're having this conversation, this exchange of energy, because we have done this together. You have done it together with somebody else too that you resonate with too. And we can do it again, over and over and over again. We can do it again, and we can rise stronger, because we know in our soul, we really know how it was like to be so in the bottom, especially if you come from a family of not like seen as really high up in the society. We know this. And now this is the time where we buckled up and we rise again as the powerful goddess warrior that you are, as a powerful warrior that you are, as a community of brothers and sisters. We rise. Take this opportunity to do so right here, right now. And again, no more waiting, no more waiting. What are you waiting for? You are waiting for your own being. The part of you inside of you is already waiting for you, has been waiting for you to tune into that, to say, I'm ready. You are ready. Just let this come through. Let it come through. If you need to cry, if you need to scream, do it all. It's okay. It's okay to feel all these emotions. We're having a human experience, It's all right. Give yourself the opportunity to cry. Give yourself the opportunity to mourn who you thought you were. So then you can be the person that you are. This card, shapeshifter, transformation. We have the opportunity to do so right now. Whew, this energy is, whoa. I'm just like so fired up here. This is just like amazing. Let's do this, Let's continue to do this. This is such an amazing opportunity in the planet right now, you guys, in the planet. Such an amazing opportunity to just be, How amazing is going to be when somebody can look at you and say like, you're so dope, you're so powerful, I see you, you know? I see you talking to spirits, or I see you working with energy or whatever, like, can you guide me? Like, can you really, like, when more of us tune in into our own gifts, and they're not seen as like this voodoo thing, or it's not seen as this like weird, strange stuff, but it's seen as the truth, it's seen as your essence. Wow. And this is happening. Even more than before is happening. Whether you believe it or not, is happening. And the power of community, even if you see it in social media, to people that you haven't met physically, but you've met before. Your soul family. You know? Like, this is what has happened, the revolution of consciousness that we have been creating just by loving ourselves, by loving yourself. This is what is happening. And this is what will continue to happen, and even stronger. Even stronger. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. So here it is. You know, the opportunity for you to continue to see yourself, the opportunity for you to grow even more, the opportunity to see yourself. See yourself with all your amazing gifts. There's nothing freaking weird about you. There's just divinity in you, and love them because they will guide you. Your gifts will just open up so many opportunities around the world, around the planet, opportunities within yourself to really see who you are, to really love who you are, and the confidence that brings in you, the confidence of being you, the confidence of being you. It's already there. Just tune into that. Just tune into that. Whew. Oh my goodness. Not sure if you feel it, but there's this energy like explosive, but of transformation, you know? Again, goodness, this opportunity to be. And you got this. You got this. We got this. Again, this is why we're here. We got this. We signed up for that. We signed up for this. We knew what it was going to take, and we knew we had what it takes to get it done. And this is what we have been doing. Every single light worker, you know? Even when people make fun of us, you know? When people say that's bullshit, that's okay. That's their story. That's their narrative. You don't need to bite into that narrative. You have your own, and you can recreate it every single day. Every single day. Oh my goodness. Woo. Holy smokes. I had no idea this was gonna come through, you guys. I feel like so much energy here. So much energy. Yeah. Let me share something really powerful that's been happening for me, because I feel that there's something else coming through, and I'm gonna let the energy sit, okay? I've been seeing myself as this like warrior, like goddess, with part of my head shaved, like literally this part on the right. And it's like the visions are so strong, and feeling that part of me too. And also feeling the excitement, and also that thing that brings the change, you know? What does the shaved head mean for some people? What does that mean in a narrative, you know, of not being girly enough, or just being more in the masculine? Could that actually mean being more in the feminine? And not, or perhaps even being in the union of the masculine and the feminine? You know, it can be something completely different to you. It could be something completely different to me. But the one thing that I know is that I'm not the person that I was yesterday, or the person that I was today. I mean, a couple weeks ago, or a couple hours ago, or last year, I'm more powerful in who I am. Because again, I believed in myself, I believed in my gifts, and I looked at myself in the mirror. And I loved myself. Every single time that I look at myself in the mirror, I tell myself, I love you. And I even blow kisses to myself. Because I love myself. I also know how it feels like to hate myself, because I did that for so long. But this is what I'm telling you. When you look at yourself in the mirror, and you honor and you love every single part that you see, the reflection of you, and you tell yourself you love yourself and you honor it, and you do whatever it is that you want to do, it changes in you. It changes in you. So I invite you, if that feels aligned, to do so. See, and see what opens up within yourself. You're just there waiting to be rediscovered by yourself. You're just there. We're all there. Every day we rediscover ourselves and we go back into remembrance. Who we are, where we come from, our story, our deeper story. Not your personal story, but that story is very valid and very powerful. For you to begin to do the work or continue or go deeper into the work, that's a very powerful access point. And through that work, you go back really deep into our story, the story of humanity. That is when you begin to tune in into, like, if I harm you, I harm myself. If somebody in the opposite side of the world harms somebody else in the opposite side of the world, I'm also feeling that hurt. And that's where real compassion comes from. That there's nothing in you that wants to harm others. And you acknowledge that every single person is going through their own journey of transformation. And every single person is divinity itself. It's a powerful mirror of you. And then you work in the ceremony stance like throughout your entire day. Whether at times you forget, that's okay. You know, again, we're having a human experience. It's okay. Like we're not like gonna be in it all the time. Perhaps we will some days. Perhaps some days we're gonna be throwing our balance, but then we know how to find our balance again. And then we do that over and over and over again. Because we know how it feels like to be out of balance. And we've had enough of that. We know what that does to the system. You know, what it costs us not to be in our center. What it steals from us, our energy. That we just give our energy somewhere else. And then you go back into it. You go back into it. That's the power, your power that you have. You do that every day, every single day. Wow. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking your time to listen to this message. Thank you for giving your chance, a bigger chance of opportunity to reawaken a part of yourself through the energies that pass through. Again, not just words, but the space in between the words that pass through for you. This is all for us, you know? I don't just do this for myself or for you. I do it for us as a whole. That's the community, like that I was saying. We do this for each other so we can remember where we come from, what we are, and we continue to do so. We continue to do so. And I love you all so much. And I see you. I might not be seeing you like this, you know, like your physical face right here, you know, but deeper, I see you. I see you. And I know that this is the time. This is what you have been waiting for, what we have all been waiting for. So then next year, it's just going to be a piece of cake. A piece of cake. Because then you know who you are. You're standing in your truth no matter what happens around the world or around you. You're standing in your truth with your gifts, with your powers, and you're just being. You are just being and beaming. Sending signals to the universe, say like, I'm here and I'm doing this work. And it's just gonna support you so much. No matter what happens, no matter what stories come up, you know, and you got this. And I love you. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna go vibrate for a second. Again, if anything pops up, you need some kind of guidance, I'm here for you, you know. Also, in February, I'm starting a group program. There's not going to be so many people because about the intimacy, that is the most powerful part for support. So it's called Elemental Alchemy. We're working with every single element consciously. So you know how to transform your life and alchemize the energy using the elements, because we're made out of elements. So it's a 4-month program. Every month we dedicate and go deep into each element with different healing processes, with also techniques, shamanic techniques that will help you to cleanse that energy and put it into balance. And to know how to do that afterwards, the program, because that's the most important part. To continue to do something, to learn it, so then you know how to apply it to your life after it. And so if you like to have a call about it or just some kind of questions, send me a message, and yeah, we'll continue to work for this. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a beautiful Friday. Have a beautiful weekend. And have a beautiful life loving yourself. Ciao, peace.